Hello, everybody. I'm Anthony Rockers, living the Yellow Submarine, and today is day 11 of the 30-day second challenge. And this one is a song that reminds you of in summer or of summer, if you will. And I decided to choose a composer, and not a composer for a movie, but a really old composer from the. We're talking like in the 1700s, and this is by Antonio Valverde. Valverde. Yeah, and okay, sorry I spaced out a little bit. And I choose call me cheating, but I choose Crescendo Summer RV 315 in G minor. I mean, even though it doesn't say it in the back, but this is actually in the Panorama album, which I strongly recommend you not only getting this album, but definitely strongly recommend you to get the albums by so many other composers in a long time in it. Talking about 1800s and 1700s, like Edvard Grieg, Peter Tchaikovsky, George Bizet, and even Johannes Brahms. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. And this one is I choose Crescendo in G minor RV 315 of summer. And I will say if you're gonna tell me in the comments which ones do I actually prefer, I prefer Presto over Allegro non molto and Adagio Presto. Even though Adagio Presto translate, well, I will say this, I will give it that Adagio has a great transition to Presto, which is a great transition. Even though the fourth and the fifth track are not one of my. Well, I mean, the fifth track is my least favorite, but the fourth track I prefer the fifth track, but the Presto track on the sixth track I much prefer it. And originally I was going to put Yellow Card's Ocean Avenue because it does have a. Well, I mean, because not only because it has a very relatable like topic season, like ocean as like a summer. But and by the way, I also do have that album. By the way, if you're gonna be asking in the comments, am I gonna do a review of this album? I mean, go for it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of this band, or I'm not a big fan of this album. Maybe, well, I guess it's because it's more pop punk or emo punk. I will call this emo punk. It's all about missing a girl, and pretty much in a punk rock way. What I'm talking about. But if you're gonna comment about me doing a review, go for it. I mean, it's gonna take a long time so I can get used to their songwriting. Because I mean, because if you guys and girls are new here, I'm a heavy thrash metal head who mostly listens to not only metal but classical music, not to mention. And I gotta say, back to the Antonio Vivaldi, oh, God dang it! Man, I'm so drunk. I mean, I'm not drunk, but like, God dang it! It's by Antonio Vivaldi, and this one's Crescendo Summer. And I gotta say, I love the Presto, the sixth track, because I love that. Like, I love how crazy and fast it gets. Even though the fourth track, I love the dynamic of the fourth track because it goes down, but it goes back up, and it goes down, and it goes back up. I love the dynamics of it, of the Allegro. I love the Allegro non molto. I love that one. Even though the Adagio, the slash Presto, which it was a okay track, but it's not my favorite. But I gotta say, I actually really enjoyed this, and not to mention the Four Seasons on CD1. I like this. I mean, I love. I mean, so far I need to listen to this album more and more so I can. Oh, excuse me. Because later on in the future, I may actually do a album review of this. Maybe, who knows? But yeah, and sorry that it's this is not actually supposed to look like this. Like, you know how in the left side, you know how, like, for example, like, I actually have the other albums out. I'm gonna show you the other ones, just one, because I mean, I'm gonna post on Instagram and Facebook about the albums I got, but I'm gonna have to wait for it a little bit, so it's gonna be postponed a little bit, not just like, due to the virus or anything. No, it's gonna be postponed because I'm a bit busy lately. Like, I'm talking about, like, what I mean is, like, in the left side, you know how you can actually see it's connected to the CD cover. That looks like it looks just like the album cover. That's what I'm talking about. But then because I bought Antonio Valverde on eBay. I bought it on eBay. That's why it's all gray. It's almost like Michael Jackson's Invincible album. And I will say, because it's not supposed to look like this. This is why like, I mean, like, this is the original, like, jewel case, like the single jewel case, and this is supposed to be double case, but I'm gonna buy the double case jewel. So it's going to be postponed for now about uploading the albums that I got from the composers. It's gonna be postponed a little bit more because I'm going to order the jewel double disc so I can fix, because there's actually one of the composers that was actually broken when I had it, because I bought most of them on eBay. But I mean, for the rest of the albums I got, it actually is good, but just for in case. But back to the Crescendo Summer. This one is really good. I love the Allegro. I love the Allegro of Malto. I love that one because it has a great dynamic. But for like Presto, I love the craziness of the atmosphere of it too. Because I mean, the Four Seasons because everybody should know at least the Four Seasons by Antonio Vivaldi. Because I mean, if you don't know Antonio Vivaldi, listen to the Four Seasons and you're easily going to know who he is. You're easily going to be very familiar with this, because there's a lot of composers from the 1700s and 1800s that we aren't familiar with. Not just like the composer names, but like the song titles. And that's okay if you don't know the song titles, as long as you know as long as you know a little of who's the composer, or unless if you say like if you heard it before, that's fine. Then we can talk. But if you're like stuff like that, I'm just saying. But you don't have to know every title just to become a bigger fan. As long as if you listen to it for the first time, like entirely, I know you're not gonna like it. I know you're gonna like it for the first time, but if you give it more listens, you're gonna love it a lot more. Because I mean, I'm talking about this is the classical music, so unless it's your thing, I mean, I strongly recommend you to get classical composers like George Bizet, Peter Tchaikovsky, and Edvard Grieg, and even Johannes Brahms. Like I strongly recommend you to get those but just to keep you a warning that I need you to get the Panorama, because it has exactly all of the famous, or I mean not famous, but like all of the composed from them so far what I know. But just to let you know, just buy the ones that says Panorama. It's Panorama. So Panorama. That's how you spell it. But you have to put Panorama. You can put the composers first, and then you can put Panorama, or you can put Panorama and then put the composers' names. It doesn't matter. But yeah, strongly recommend you, because if you love classical music, then I strongly recommend you to get the Panorama, because I already have so far. I got 6 of them, but I actually have 2 so far I need to get more volumes from it, because the one is Ludwig van Beethoven. I have volume 2, and Peter Tchaikovsky. I got volume 2, which I keep getting volume 2. I'm getting these because I want to let my parents experience not only just the old like classical ages. I'm talking about like getting it, because the reason why I'm getting the classical music and just let my parents listen to it, I could definitely strongly recommend your kids to listen to these musics. Because if you're tired of hearing on the radio that you hear so many same pop or rap music that you hear so many times on the radio, these right now pretty much is going to happen in the future, which I pray it doesn't. At least get your kids into these classical musics and understand what music was about. Music is not always about singing, because everybody should be having a debate whether what's the definition of music. Because what I always say what music is about is how it delivers an emotion in the sound of it. It's not always about singing, it's about making music. And these famous composers, proves that they make music. Even Ludwig van Beethoven, he proves himself that he makes music. Even in his personal life, that he was deaf, he still made music that were awesome. So, yeah, I strongly recommend your kids to listen to classical music, even though I know your kids are not going to like them, but don't get too hurt if your kids say that, because, I mean, we are in the modern ages, so that's understandable. But as long as your kids don't become like sarcastically jerks, then at least if they're saying like I can't get into it, that's fine. As long as they don't say like, oh, how could anyone listen to this, or like, oh, why do they make these types of music? Yeah, That's what I mean. Like, because I've seen some kids say that, and it's painful. But I mean, not all kids say that, but some kids do, and it's pretty hard to listen to it. But again, I choose the Crescendo Summer. I choose this over Ocean Avenue from Yellowcard. Not because I hate pop punk, or you could basically call it punk rock. Not that, I mean, for the most part, I kind of do hate punk rock. It's mostly because it's not really have that much talent. I mean, personally, it's from guitars. The way they, because especially if you look at the productions from most of their the bands and the musics, or you can basically from bands, they always do that downstrokes very quickly, which I found it pretty stupid. And yeah, I tried to learn some of the songs from punk rock on the guitar, and it's very simple, and I just wanted to do something a little challenging. That's why I got into heavy and thrash metal music, because it was not always about finger pricking, finger downstrokes. It was all about, like, making crazy souls that actually has more on music. Because like for punk is like punk rock is literally, it's like they're so simple and the lyrics are very simple. And well, I mean, for the most part, punk is basically, I don't know fully about them. I'm not a big fan of the punk movement even at the time, because I've always believed that the Ramones were one of the first pop punk bands to ever come out from punk rock. And even though I don't really like punk rock as a thing, I mean, I will give the Ramones that they did have a tons of influence, but as a musicianship, I'm not really going to listen to their music that much either. So again, this is a channel that I'm all about not only just metalheads. I'm not always on metal musics or like always on classical musics. I'm also into like some pop musics like Michael Jackson, and even like pop rock, Lenny Kravitz. I mean, not Lenny Kravitz, I mean used to. But there's some other musicians and bands out there that not just metal, or not just in the metal band or musicians, but even from pop rock or progressive rock bands too. So I'm not always on metal, so I'm more on rock, or more specifically heavy metal and thrash metal. Not, I was about to say death metal, thrash metal, but yeah. Unless I mean, I strongly recommend you to subscribe to my channel. If you love metal musics, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you love classical musics, and if you even, not only I do that, I also review on, I mean, I don't know, I haven't been doing upload videos a lot lately, but I've mostly done 30-day summer challenge, which is still going on. It's almost halfway done, so after that, I'm going to start uploading my own content. I mean, not that I haven't uploaded video from my own content. I mean, I've uploaded a lot from my YouTube career, too. And my first YouTubing was my first year of YouTube, or this year, I believe it was this year, is already 5 years on YouTube, or 4 years. Well, because 4 years more specifically is because 4 years is where I was getting a little started, but 5 years is where I basically started uploading videos for random reasons. But in 2016, I started making more videos. So yeah, that's all you need to know about this channel. But yeah, highly recommend you to not only get Antonio Vivaldi Panorama, but I mean, more specifically, I strongly recommend you to get Panorama, the albums from Edvard Grieg and Peter Tchaikovsky and George Bizet. There's so many much more. Just because you're going to most likely, if you don't know fully about their names, just look up the famous composed songs so you can easily know which ones are, well, not only on the albums, but actually know what they are. Because I mean, most people should know at least some of the classical music that we all remember. But that's it. That's all I have to say about this video. This is basically day 11 of the song that reminds me of summer. I just decided to choose is over Ocean Avenue. Not that I hate Ocean Avenue from Yellowcard. I mean, not that I hate Yellowcard, but it's just, even as a emo punk band, I just don't really like punk rock, or like, I don't even know why they always call it like emo as a genre. I guess it's more specifically on the emotional context of punk. That's what I'm thinking. That's what it was all about at the time. Which pretty much pop punk nowadays is pretty much dead. I mean, rock is not fully dead, but it's not like what you hear on the radio that often. It's more buried more on the popular side of music. And it's sad. That needs to change. That needs to change. If you guys enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends and family, tap the bell for the notifications to go directly to that video, and again, I highly recommend you to get the Panorama albums from the composers from the 1700s and 1800s, including Ludwig van Beethoven, even Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Like, there's much more from Panorama that I highly recommend you to buy the albums. Just look it up on the Panorama albums, and then you'll know the composers. And you're going to be very familiar with mostly Ludwig van Beethoven and Mozart. Everybody should know these two. But yeah, if your kid is tired of listening to the popular pop music these days on the radio, get them into classical music so they can understand what music was about. And I will see you in the next. My social media are in the description: Instagram, Facebook, and I will see you in the next video. Change the world. Peace and love. And also, keep headbanging. Even though this is a classical music, I don't care. Keep headbanging. Yeah.